Hello everyone, welcome back to the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion playthrough. We're still working our way through the last bit of the lines here. I think did that line just have a TikTok by Kesha reference on
TikTok
it?
wasn't out when this came out.
No, the song TikTok
Oh,
by
TikTok.
Kesha. Like TikTok on the clock,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
don't stop
I
tonight.
don't listen. I don't listen to Kesha.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not hip. I'm not with it. It is strange and confusing to me.
so fun fact about Kesha, she had perfect SAT scores. And her label said that she needed to act dumber in her pop persona in order to get people to listen to her. Because if she was smart and whatnot, then she couldn't be a pop star. So
It's a relatability thing.
I
A lot of
hope she gave. I hope she gave them the middle finger and just didn't do that.
No.
Unfortunately, not until later, because she there's a lot of bad shit with her producer and whatnot happened, and then there was actually a really powerful album that she did with a lot of songs about it that are actually very good. Go listen. Kesha's good shit. I say that unironically, even though it's not normally my type of music, but that shit's good shit. Kesha is TED approved. I mean, honestly, Ryan, here's the thing. Kesha was like a 2010 artist. I remember her when I was in high school. So if you're saying you like Kesha right now, that is literally being like, hey kids, I'm hip and I know the music you listen to. I listen to Kesha and the Black Eyed Peas. I am young
it is
with it.
strange and confusing to me, and it'll happen to you.
It's actually, if we were to talking about Kesha right now, makes us exactly as out of touch as Steve Buscemi with the music band shirt that has the AC/DC logo back when that came out in the 2000s. We are literally that out of touch with society right now.
Oh, cool. We can play. Oh crap. I think John.
I'm out of
posted
touch
it.
with the music scene in general. Really, there's
Okay, to date all of ourselves here, it's basically like the Hall & Oates song "Out of Touch" from the 1980s, and no one in our audience knows that song.
I don't even know that song. But okay,
Well, that's because you
Out of
didn't know that Hall & Oates was a thing. I remember this because they reference Hall & Oates in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and you were like, "Who are them?" And I heard inside because it means you've never listened to the soft rock station
well, look
on the radio even once.
Here's the thing: there's nothing on Earth that's more effective at getting someone to underestimate the entire music scene as a concept, like the radio in the early 2000s and the 90s. Because
with the mom, the soccer mom kind of radio station where they did things like censor the words crystal meth and Third Eye Blind. If you're listening to Semi Charmed Life on the soccer mom music station here,
look, there were two extremes, and these were the only ways you were allowed to experience music by way of the radio. The extreme where they're doing that kind of stuff, the soccer mom stuff, or the extreme where they're singing about nothing but sex and drugs, and it gets really boring really fast. So there's nothing to appeal to me on. There was nothing to appeal to me on the radio as I was growing up. So
to be fair though, you've also been to the dentist at least once, right? They're always playing the soft rock mom station. At the dentist.
And at the convenience store.
Yes, that too. Possibly a train station as well.
Look, there was a reason that we thought Linkin Park was good back in the day, and it still is kind of good from time to time.
I would say Creed is probably the better one because they played Creed.
But there's a reason that Linkin Park and Evanescence and all those other artists got popular around that time, and it's because they were the only middle ground that existed between the two extremes that I just mentioned. If you wanted a song that was about something but also wasn't trying to be watered down for babies, then that was all you had, pretty much. And
I mean, there was Matchbox 20, but there's that.
A few Green Day songs slipped through.
Yeah,
they
did also have to censor the hell out of a lot of the Green Day stuff.
I said a few Green Day songs.
A few, yes. But yeah, I mean, obviously, pop stations are going to appeal to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, but like, there is a certain subset of songs that was really popular with the AMV scene when YouTube was getting its start, and to some extent still today.
So much
But like
Naruto.
the reason that those songs were the songs that people went for the AMV scene is because they were songs that the people making the videos generally thought would elicit some sort of at least general emotional response while you listened to them with certain pictures playing on screen, and you just didn't get that with a lot of the other stuff that was popular.
Meanwhile, I'm just here as part of the AMV Hell crew.
Man,
Make all the jokes, reference all the shit.
I'm not gonna write you a love song.
But like,
Because you asked for
but like,
it.
to this day, like one of the best videos on YouTube is this ugly ass 360p. No, probably 360i, considering how old it is. This ugly ass 360 resolution AMV using the trailer footage for Versus 13 and a Linkin Park song. And you probably know which one I'm talking about without me specifying the Linkin Park song. Because...
So I was writing a paper on the PC, and it went... bleep, 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 bleep.
And like...
One of the AMVs that I remember from my time on YouTube in the mid-2000s is a Pikmin 2 AMV with, I think it's Fall Out Boy's The Black Parade. And I'm like, why does this work? It really shouldn't work.
But like, there are songs that you can tie to certain feelings and sort of use the imagery in an AMV to sort of, kind of, but not really tell a story. And the fact that you can do that with those songs is a lot of the reason that they were popular at the time. It wasn't just people being edgy, liking songs about depressing things.
I mean, there was some of that too.
There was some of that too.
The scene and emo parts of the 2000s, they were like a different time.
All the frickin' Homestuck.
Well, I mean, that's even a little bit later though. That's like 2010 or so. I'm thinking like 2007.
I mean, I'm old enough to remember Newgrounds in earlier 2000s, so...
You see, I generally have a lighter memory of Newgrounds because I tended to watch more parody stuff on there.
You did not see the real shit that was going on then.
Yeah, like, when I think of Flash cartoons on the internet in the 2000s, my first thought is like Homestar Runner. Not
You don't even have
Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. And
you don't
like
even
that.
have color-coded boxes to help you this time.
No, you have to make the little doggy all by yourself. So this is, I guess, another one of the more infamous ones because if you make a single mistake, you die. But it is also, again, very satisfying. I think it's important in a game like this to occasionally have levels where you're doing something slower paced just to one, just so that you're doing something different, but also to give you a different skill set to test as well.
It is also a mirrored version, so it is easy enough to figure out. As long as you get one half right, you can just do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah, and it's also a lot easier than the Octopus because it's way smaller and you can see the other version. Well, I guess if the bar is not in the way, God, camera, you can see the other version at basically every time. So you have a easier reference than in the other one where there was another reference, but you were basically never looking at it. You were always looking for the orange boxes.
Yeah. It would have been a pain in the ass to look at to go by reference for the Octopus level because the thing's so goddamn big, so the travel time from one side of the area to the other to get a good look at it would have
Guess who didn't realize that it was just the orange boxes that needed to be broken the first time they played it?
That took forever, didn't it?
Yes. Yes, it did.
You poor bastard.
One thing I love about this mode, though, is even though all the stations are fairly short, this is like twice the length of the normal single-player campaign, and it doesn't wear out nearly as quickly. To put it in perspective, the Splatoon 2 main single-player campaign you can beat in like under 3 hours. And like, okay, sure, you can beat it over and over again in order to unlock all the different weapon styles from a multiplayer. But I've had the game for 4 years now, and I still have no desire to ever finish doing that. Because, like, I don't want to have to play through every level with the paintbrush and the blaster. It's just not fun. It would take less time than playing through all of Octo expansion again, I suppose. But am I enjoying myself doing it? Nah. That feels more like grinding and busy work versus this is a longer game and is just more fulfilling to finish on its own merits. Yeah. I mean, there is also merit in having a short game that's easily replayable. So it's like, oh, I've got 2 hours. I can replay the Splatoon 2 campaign again. Like that has merit as well, I suppose. But generally speaking, I don't know. I find myself a lot more fulfilled personally with experiences that are a little bit longer. That I think is probably just due to my, like, what the kind of games I grew up on, which were N64 length kind of stuff that generally took at least 10 hours to finish most of the time.
Man, you're making this way harder for yourself by going in that direction, aren't you?
Well,
wait,
I'm trying to.
You don't
now
have.
Now I should be good. I'm trying to get myself.
Oh, you
I don't know if you will catch up with the other side.
You don't have the
You
option.
will eventually, but
see.
you will eventually catch up, but it's easier to just go backwards with the grapple points.
Because the rail always sends you counterclockwise, is the thing.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
God damn it!
you
No,
feel-
no.
I like how they have a
Nope.
dialogue line that accounts for you falling down.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of like hidden lines, and there's more of them in the base game from what I remember. Like Marie will comment on how you really hate balloons if you spend too much time breaking balloons, and she'll get annoyed with you finding secrets instead of just finishing the level and stuff like that. There are still secrets in Octo expansion, obviously, but since the levels are shorter, there's generally less overall, so there's less instances of dialogue for them, from what I can remember, at the very least. It's been a long time since I've, like, looked for that kind of stuff. Also, I have no idea what the background object in this level is supposed to even be. It looks like some kind of baby toy, but I have no idea what it's supposed to be other than that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
I'm trying to get half of a second of a look at it so that I can.
Oh,
Well, too
nope,
late now.
Too late.
Yep.
I do remember in one of the either the last part of the part before, in the background there were Super NESs with a game floating back there, and I want to know what box art the game they had was based on, and if it was specifically one thing or another. But we're not going to see that anytime soon. So yeah.
I'm still kind of disappointed that they didn't just call the game Splatoon.
I hate it. I hate it so much. No, never. Do you want another
I'm glad-
F3er? Or even
No,
worse,
because like this is
F4er?
this is
Or
is
Fan 4 Stick 4?
look this is
No.
this is one of the cases where the pun actually phonetically works. Okay.
No, I hate it. I despise whenever they put the letter.
I'm
in
glad
the
you're on
game.
my side with this, Lewis.
No, never.
Nah.
You're all degenerates.
Look, when it's something like Drive 3er, that's awful. But when it's something like Splatoon, all you really need is a little bit of extra emphasis on the tune, and people will get what you're saying.
But I hate it. It's wrong. It's ugh.
He's a Spider-Man, not Spider-Man.
It goes against my precious grammatical sensibilities.
Yet you're also the pun guy of the group.
Yeah, but that's because puns require you to be clever and think of how words interact. Like, this is the same reason why B puns bother me, because it's not actually making a joke, it's just making one of the words sound longer for no reason. That's not clever. You're just saying the word Splatoon, but you're emphasizing a syllable. It's not the same. All right, it's different. It's different. I swear. Oh man. But yeah, it also just makes all of the other games just look weird when they can't keep that going. Like Alien, for example. Aliens is a very clever sequel title. But then when they made a third one, it's Alien 3. And it's like, well, there technically wasn't ever an Alien 2. It was Aliens. But you can't call the third one Alienses. I say, stealing the angry video game nerds complaints right from his mouth.
But like, it's more like, in the case of this kind of titling work, it's more of a logo play pun. Like it works because it's also got a visual accompaniment. Like you see the logo with a number where letters should be, and then you verbalize it as Splatoon, and it makes sense. Haha. But like, games have done that without like actually changing the title. For example, Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 both do that thing where they sort of hide the Roman numeral of the sequel number in the title.
Yeah, like nobody calls it Resident Evil 7, you know.
Yeah.
Like, nobody pronounces it like
But
that.
the Roman numeral 7 is in the title. For it's actually in both titles. In the Japanese version, where it's Biohazard Resident Evil, they hide like the number 7 in like the Z or something, and then in the English version, where it's Resident Evil Biohazard, it's the Roman numeral 7 hidden in evil. And then in Village, they hide the 8 in the Village part.
Oh, I was gonna ask, do they acknowledge the Biohazard thing again in 8, or have they just kind of they just gave up on trying to combine the brands? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't really trying to combine the brands exactly. They were just sort of they put the Biohazard in there, I guess, because they wanted to make sure that longtime fans of the series here in the West knew that no matter how weird this situation is, it's still about a biohazard outbreak, you know? They probably should have saved that for 8, because in 8 you're dealing with like lichens and vampires, and it's like at that point, yeah, I kind of do need to be reminded that this is a biohazard outbreak. We're
So
getting...
wait, did like the Umbrella Corporation release like garlic virus and then everybody turned into a vampire?
No. There's a complicated explanation involving the fungus from 7 and these parasites that someone made with them and how it affects certain people. But basically, they just worked with the idea
Magic
that
mold.
like in the mythology of it, vampirism and lycanthropy are something that's spread from person to person. So it fits the whole biohazard theme, doesn't it? But all you really need to know at the end of the day is that lichens are really aggressive and pissed off, and they really should not have been the first enemy you fought, but they were anyway.